Today on the LA Food Podcast, you know how they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery? Well, if that really is the case, we've got a flattering as hell episode for you today, dear listener. We're joined today by Ronit Halmos, the internet food personality known as Ronit Eats with 5 S's on social media. And while I invited her on to play a game I made up called Is It Worth It?, what we really ended up doing was our own LA food version of SubwayTakes. The good news is, A, no one would ever accuse us of being original in the first place, and B, the takes on display today are guaranteed to ruffle some feathers. There's a deranged choice for favorite French fry, a brave stance on the Hillstone restaurant group, a valiant zag on the concept of waiting in line, and much, much more. You're not going to want to miss it. On Chef's Kiss Big Miss, there's a bagel war brewing in Ocean Park, a sus rebrand for the fridge cigarette, a risky new entry on ballpark menus around the country, and a surprising new twist in the Vegas food world. In part 2, we're joined by Or Amsalam, the founder of Lodge Bread. Yes, that Lodge Bread. Or's got a great story of how him and his co-founder Alex went from baking illegal bread in a carport to running one of the city's most impressive carbohydrate empires. We talk scaling something that fundamentally cannot be rushed, i.e. naturally leavened products, as well as Lodge's brave new venture into a carbohydrate near and dear to my heart. Pasta. If you're on Ozempic, you might want to skip this one. A reminder that the LA Food Podcast is part of the Acquired Taste Media family. Be sure to listen to our sister podcast, Taquiando with Bill Esparza. Also be sure to listen to Couch Potatoes, which we dropped an episode of on this feed just yesterday, dear listener. We recapped season 5 of The Bear and really talked about the show's legacy overall. And because it's the final season, we did what any graduation warrants, and we did superlatives. That's Father Saul and I, by the way. As always, I'm your host, Lucas Servodio, and without further ado, it's time to chow down. Dear listener, this is not an ad, it's just a humble request from me personally. This November, I'm running the New York City Marathon with Soccer Without Borders, and I'm trying to raise $8,000 for the organization. Running the New York City Marathon has been a lifelong dream of mine, and if you listen to this show, you also know soccer is basically a lifelong obsession. Between me and Father Saul talking Champions League totally unnecessarily every other episode, and all my tortured sports metaphors, none of this should come as a surprise to you. What I love about Soccer Without Borders is that they use the game to create belonging, mentorship, confidence, and opportunity for young people, especially kids from immigrant and underserved communities, refugees a lot of the times too. It's a mission that really means a lot to me. This will also be personally my 8th marathon and very possibly my last, so I wanted to tie it to something bigger than myself. And if you're able to support even $1, $5, $10, it genuinely makes a huge difference and gets me closer to the fundraising goal. It would mean the world to me. There's a donation link in the show notes if you want to contribute. Seriously, thank you guys. All right, let's get into the episode. Dear listener, welcoming to the podcast for the very first time today, probably one of the most recognizable food content creators in Los Angeles today. It's none other than Ronit Halmos, known on Instagram as Ronit Eats. Ronit, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me and for that great intro.
Of course. Well, thank you for making time for us. Icebreaker question for you. Anybody who follows you on Instagram can kind of deduce that you might be slightly fond of Charlie XCX. What do you think of the new album?
Oh my gosh, I love that you're starting with this question. I'm obsessed, obviously. 2007 it's stuck in my head right now, actually.
Really? I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I was a little scared by the singles. I don't know. Wink Wink just wasn't doing it for me.
I feel like it is kind of for the girls and the gays, or like a very specific straight, not to assume your sexual preference, but I would listen to Persona is really fun, and the song that's short for A.G. Cook, Magic Metal Montana. It's very, I feel like you and I are on the same age, and it's very like nostalgic to when we were like teenagers, like 2010-ish era. Like it's very like Phoenix meets like the Help meets the Strokes, which I love.
Okay. I'm into that. I can get into that. I mean, I'll confess, I haven't listened to it yet. And I was a huge brat guy, so
Oh,
not a girl or a gay. However, that said, I think I could get into this. Ronit, let's get to know you a little bit. Are you from LA?
yes, I am from the Valley, an Encino gal.
Nice.
Yes, born and raised. Have been here. I went away for college for a bit, but I've basically lived here forever.
That's awesome. Where did this love for food come from? Any valley haunts that sparked it?
Really, it's been since, I was born. My dad loves to tell this story that when I was 3 years old, vocabulary was slim to none. I was like, Dad, can we get ribs? He's like, how do you even know what ribs are? What the hell is going on? So I've really always just been a glutton at heart.
I was very much in the same boat. I think that's hilarious. Ribs being your one of your first requests is also kind of intense. It's a pretty advanced food. Well, maybe not advanced, but not for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, I was really into, I just always have loved all types of food. And there was a Tony Roma's by my parents' house. It closed. It's actually now a Ains. And I always wanted to go there. Maybe I saw a commercial on TV of ribs or something, and I was like, I want to try that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of always been like that.
So when did you start actually the social media thing and going to restaurants and reviewing them?
The social media thing has kind of been in the back of my mind for probably 4 years now, but it started actually taking off a little over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. There's this other creator that I really like that he does quick red carpet reviews. And I was like, oh, I should do this for LA restaurants, because I know my breadth of LA restaurants is so vast. So I was like, I'm going to do what he does. His name is Nikki Campbell. That was my quick review style, which is how I started. Just running through restaurants by category, giving a couple words on each. And then I kind of ran out and I was like, okay, well, I got to eat enough. I should just make content of me actually going to these places. And that started, the first place I went was Holy Basil.
Oh yeah.
And the video did pretty well. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep doing this.
You have a very distinctive hook. And I think one of the things that is, to me, really impressive of content creators when I'm like, fuck, I wish I did that, is when you can look at a video and within the first 3 seconds, 3 milliseconds even, you know exactly what this is going to be about. Yours is so brilliant because it's a still of the restaurant and then you with your signature hand on face approach and you go, I'm going to eat this today. We know this is what this is about. We know what's coming. So did you just try that once and it took off and you stuck with it? Or did you need to kind of iterate?
So back to what I was saying, the types of reviews I used to do were green screen. And that's what I was recognition on the For You page is everything, obviously, like you said.
Yeah.
So I started off with the green screen thing. And then I wanted to do the restaurant thing. And I was like, how do I maintain that recognition while doing a new format? And that's how I came up with the intro with the green screen, because that's how I would do the quick reviews. I would have the storefront of the restaurant, so I wanted to maintain that. So that's how I came up with the intro. And then I was just like, what can I say? And I was like, I'm gonna eat this today.
Easy. Is there a video that really took off where you're like, yeah, I think I'm onto something here?
Yeah, I would say Yang Chow was probably my biggest. I will say my I'm gonna eat this today videos aren't my most successful, although they're the ones I'm most known for, I would say. They're not doing numbers in the same way, because I think of what you said, it's a blessing and a curse to have that intro, I think, because if you're not interested in the restaurant, you're automatically gonna scroll past. But for example, if you start a video with a video of food, someone might be interested because it looks good regardless of where it's from.
That makes sense. Yeah, blessing and a curse is a fun way to put it. Yeah, but it's I don't know, if you feel if you like the creator, you should just fucking stick around for 30 seconds and see what's going on, just have some patience, internet.
I agree. Yeah, but those two things don't go together, patience and internet.
It's true. It's very true. Has anything surprised you since you started this? Maybe do you get a lot of very angry older people in your comments just asking you what the hell you're thinking, that kind of thing?
A lot of surprises have come as a result of doing this. I will say the haters were not a surprise because that is something that I expected it, and I love it. I think it's so funny. Like, people just commenting crazy mean stuff on my videos, and then I click on their page and it's just some like 50-year-old dude with 200 followers. I'm like, why do you feel comfortable doing this? What if your wife saw, or your child, or your niece? I don't know.
Wild.
So the haters weren't a surprise, but I would say the biggest surprise is the amount of like support and outreach from like people online. I've made so many friendships, and like my life has just gotten a bit more colorful and sparkly since I started, and it's just been it's been a very positive surprise, like in a very great way.
Yeah, that's actually really cool you say that, because I feel the exact same way. Like, the best part of doing this, I think, has been the ability to meet people and make friends. I don't know if you feel the same way, but as you get older, like especially in Los Angeles, it's kind of hard to make new friends. Like, especially when you're working like a fake email job and you're just like, you're going to work, going home, doing the same routine all the time. You kind of get stuck in your ways, and doing this really has been an incredible way of just meeting new people. And I don't know if you've met like mostly people who are creators or who are in the food world, but especially in the food world, everybody is so nice, like such genuine people who like actually want to be doing what they're doing. I don't even know that they realize how rare that is in today's world, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. I completely agree with you. Like, the food industry, the people, like the restaurant owners, like everyone I've connected with and gotten the opportunity to meet are so kind and generous and excited, and they're really, really great to like chat with and have relationships with. But yeah, also just people that are like, I fuck with your vibe. You want to get dinner? And I'm like, yeah, I fuck with your vibe.
I fuck with your vibe, good sir. Speaking of people you've met, you were recently on the Dave Chang show, the dinner time live type thing, or his podcast. I forget exactly which one. How was that?
It was really fun. You know, it's Dave Chang is Dave Chang, and he will always be Dave Chang. He was definitely like pressing me about the internet and being an influencer, content creator, whatever. But it was really, really fun. Like, I do well under pressure, so I wasn't.
Yeah, you held your own, dude.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Those other two guys whose names I don't remember, they had my back sitting next to me.
Yeah, Chris Ying. Yeah, he seems like the good cop in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, and the other guy's name is actually Dave. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
Oh, nice. Dave and Dave.
Yeah, but it was really fun, and his food was really good, of course.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever? Okay, so I feel like there are creators out there who have kind of made their names by shitting on places. We don't need to name who they are, but you seem to mostly do positive reviews. I don't think I've.
You noticed that?
Well, I was gonna say I don't even think I've seen you go to a place and like spit the food out or be like, this one didn't hit or whatever. What's the approach? Do you only go to good places, or do you just not post the bad places?
It's funny because like in my quick review ones, I will say some words about some places, but it's very casual and I'm not saying too much. It's up for interpretation. So that to me is more okay. But it really grinds my gears when people just rag on a restaurant, a small restaurant, like maybe a chain. It's more okay, like a big chain.
Oh yeah.
But it's so hard to make it in the restaurant industry, especially in Los Angeles, where foot traffic is not as prevalent, and it's really a struggle. And after obviously meeting all of these restaurant owners, I understand even more how much of a struggle it is. So when I go to a restaurant I just don't post it. Like, I'm just trying to really help places instead of bringing them down. Like, there's enough people that are, and it's just, we have such an impact. Like, we're really impactful on a restaurant's like success, and I don't want on my conscience if like I ruin their business. Like, what right do I have to do that? I don't want any part of that.
I appreciate it. I mean, look, for some people I think power goes to their head, you know.
Definitely.
They're like
views are more important.
Yeah, views are more important, or like, you have to play ball with me if I'm going to be nice to you. You got to invite me in. You got to wine and dine me.
Yeah. Or
else. And I appreciate that you are not one of those. Last question before we move on to the regular agenda that people have come to expect from this podcast. What's the goal here? Like, are you just taking it one video at a time, or do you have some grand vision for world domination here?
On social media stuff, I'm kind of just like rolling with the punches, but I will say I've gotten some positive attention from like the entertainment industry, like movies, TV, whatever it may be. So I'm kind of exploring acting.
Nice.
Which social media is like a great stepping stone to get into that. And it's always been something in the back of my mind as well. So I started like doing an acting class and I'm starting to explore that avenue. But like on the social media side, it's fun, but I'm not, you probably heard me say on like the David Chang thing, I'm not like the biggest internet person. So it's not like I'm trying to be like this like mega influencer. Like I would rather kind of use it as like a hobby and maybe like a second source of income, but have something else be like my main focus.
Yeah, that's again refreshing because I feel like when people get a little taste of this, they just want to keep going. It's like The Ring, Lord of the Rings. Well, recent eats, we usually kick things off with where we've been eating recently. So Ronit, where you been eating recently?
Well, I recently went to Girong Peking Duck. I keep saying Peking Duck for the first time, and it was incredible. Have you been there?
I haven't been. No, I haven't been. Where is it? Oh.
It's in the SGV. It's owned by the same people as Good Alley, and it's next to and it's right next to Golden Deli, that Vietnamese place that's like really popping. Mm-hmm. It rocked my socks off. It was fucking amazing.
Good to know. Have you done? We tried to go to Roast Duck by Power the other night. Have you been there?
Yes.
Oh, that's not one of your faves. Okay, okay.
No, but it's still pot. Or I haven't been to the other pot ward, and I hear that it's really good. But the duck just wasn't crispy, and I wanted it to be crispy. Fair. Their other dishes were great though. Their papaya salad I thought was great. I loved their curry, but the duck just wasn't for me.
But the Girong one,
because that boy was crispy.
Crispy, I take.
Let me tell you.
Fair enough. Any other place?
Well, I went to Good Alley also, so I'm just like a big fan of both of them. And then.
Did you get the burger?
Yes, I did. I saw that you had the burger.
Yeah, burger's pretty fire.
So good. That place was amazing, and I really liked that it touched on like a bunch of different like regional foods of like the umbrella of Chinese food. Like they have like Sichuan stuff, like Taiwanese stuff. I could be better versed in this. Like I feel like sometimes I call food Chinese and people are like, it's Taiwanese, and I know that that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
I should do a lesson on this. But that place was that place was really great. I've been obsessed with Musso and Frank's lately.
Oh, nice. For the food or the vibes?
All of the above.
Okay. What's your go-to order? Because I feel like Musso's is actually a place where people can really fuck up, and they're like, they just write it off because they have one bad meal there.
Their chicken parm is out of this world. Like it's seriously unbelievable. They have the best martini in the city. And their Alfredo pasta was incredible. Like
really
fresh pasta. You can tell all they used for the sauce was butter and parm, like true Italian Alfredo. I thought it was phenomenal. And then I've also been obsessed with wedge salads because I'm absolutely done with the Caesar. I don't want it anymore. No more Radicchio Caesar. I'm so sick of it. So I've been really into a wedge, and they have a fab wedge salad.
We love a wedge moment. You're right. Caesar has overstayed its welcome.
No more chicory Caesar. I'm so over it.
It's true. And I've seen like even places that I deeply respect have now been adding chicken Caesar wraps to their menu, where it doesn't make sense.
Chicken Caesar wrap at least is a little newer, but I don't need every place to have like a chicory Caesar salad.
Yeah.
Every single like cutesy new like wine forward restaurant, like they don't all need to have the same salad. We can do something else.
But if a restaurant doesn't have a chicory Caesar salad, a yellowtail crudo, and some sort of burger martini situation, is it even a restaurant in LA these days?
And Bub and Grandma's bread.
Yeah, fair.
Love Bub and Grandma's bread, love a crudo, but like this is what I was talking about this with Dave Chang, but he kind of cut a lot of this stuff. Every place is using like excuse me, like the same like format, like bistro chairs. Exactly what he said. Yellowtail crudo, chicory Caesar, what's the other, sticky toffee pudding dessert.
Oh yeah.
They just all have it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I like the dish, but it's just boring to see it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
In all of these new places.
And what I think it does too is if a place is doing it well, it's like they don't even get credit for it anymore because everybody's doing it. Like I went to dinner. Have you
Yeah.
been to Henrietta in Echo Park?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Highly recommend. Really, really good. You've just listed their menu though. Like that is their menu. But they do it all extremely well. However,
Yeah.
just because they're doing everything else, I feel like it's hard for them to stand out above the crowd. So, yeah, restaurants, why don't we play around with a wedge salad every once in a while?
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
more wedge salads in the Roto.
Wedge salad summer. Well, actually, lettuce is a little bit risque this summer.
Ooh,
So,
that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Well, maybe once that's all over. I ate at a place called, I went back to a place this weekend called Za. Have you been?
Yeah, Marisco Zazazan, Frogtown.
Yeah. Oh my God. I like, every time I go there, I'm
Talk
like,
about a unique menu.
why don't I go here all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's like one of my favorite places. Loretto is, I think, one of my favorite restaurants in Los Angeles.
I love that place. They have such
Yeah.
a like killer, like all of their starters are great, but I love that they have a main big dish that's good for sharing. That it's like fish or octopus. It's like you can get different types of fish or octopus, and then it comes with like tortilla and like corn, and you make little tacos, and it's so good. And it's not expensive. Like if you're splitting it with like 4 people, 2 people, you could like just do that, and it would be a very affordable, high-end, like delicious meal. I love that place.
It's like the perfect space too. Like the back patio.
Yeah.
I've just been like craving Mariscos this summer, probably because it's so damn hot. But going there,
Yeah.
being in that open air, having like a nice shrimp cocktail or something, sitting down, nice ice cold beer. It felt like I was on vacation when I was just in the middle of Frogtown. So Za, I like have to go way more often.
Totally. And it's kind of, it's like similar to Holbox, but way more comfy.
Yeah, that is high
Because
praise.
Holbox, you're standing in the heat.
Way less of a line at Za these days.
Right. And like you can make a reservation. Like it's just much easier for the same type of like cuisine. I'm not going to say it's like better or worse. I think that they're just kind of different, but it's just so comfy and like fun to hang out there. I love it there.
Yep. And then I also went to, I'm doing this like thing where I eat 100 pizzas in 365 days.
Oh my God.
Which actually I want to know what your favorite pizza in LA is in a second. But
Okay.
I went to Apollonia's,
Okay.
which I hadn't been to in a minute. And everybody, anytime I post a top pizzas list, is like, where the hell is Apollonia's? Why haven't you gone to Apollonia's? And I hate to say it, but the people were correct. Apollonia's is indeed elite, both for their New York slices and for their square slices. So next time I drop a top 10 list, I'm pretty sure they're going to be near the top. But have you had Apollonia's?
Yeah, I'm surprised that like you just went there for the first time, because I feel like David Portnoy went there like years ago, and I feel like everyone is like,
Yeah.
it's the best pizza in LA. I love a classic New York slice, so I feel like I'm not equipped to speak about the thick one because I just don't like it as much, and therefore I don't get it as much, so I just don't.
Fair.
Their New York slices are incredible. Like they're so good, but they just make it so hard.
They people say that, but I actually had a pretty easy experience. Okay, I should say I have had it before. I had it in 2021, but it had been a minute, and I had only had their square slice because that was like what was going viral at the time.
Totally.
So this was my first time really getting down with their New York slice, and everybody said the exact same thing. They're like, they make it an absolute bitch to go get their slices. But honestly, I found a parking spot right in front of the location. I happened to have $30 cash on me, so that was easy.
There you go.
No line for it. Gave them the cash, got my slice, ate it there like a real slice shop. I was like, it's like everybody when they complain about the DMV. And yes, the DMV can be hell. But guess what? If you make an appointment, you're in and out in like 15 minutes. I was literally at the DMV before this recording, Ronit. Do I look like the man stressed out from the DMV?
You're smart. You got ahead of it. You made the appointment. But did you go on like a Tuesday at opening? Like, how was it empty? I'm surprised there was no one there.
To the DMV or Apollonia's?
No, for Apollonia's.
Oh, okay. Apollonia's, I was there. Yeah, actually, no, it was a Friday, like peak lunchtime, honestly. It should have been busy.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know that they
yeah.
were open for lunch. I thought they opened at like 5.
I was surprised to hear that too, but they were open for lunch and it was a pleasant experience. But what is your favorite pizza in LA?
Well, right now I'm obsessed with Sonny's, like everyone else. I love, like, the owners are such great guys, and I still haven't had their Philly cheesesteak. I'm plotting on going this weekend, but it looks that looks like a crazy sandwich, but their pizza is
That does.
like incredible. I'm begging them. Heavy Handed in Silver Lake recently closed on Sunset. And I texted the owner of Sunny's. I was like, maybe you should open there.
Yeah.
It would be a perfect place for a slice shop. There's no pizza around there. And people in that area, like, I feel like are into the, like, cheaper, like, eats options. And I feel like stopping by there for a slice, I feel like it'd be popping. If they serve coffee, they would make a killing.
I feel like there's so much pizza in Silver Lake. There's like
what?
There's Pizzana down the street. There's
okay, but that's more like a sit-down restaurant.
Le Sorted's.
I forget about Le Sorted because it's like a window. But yes,
fair.
I when I think of Le Sorted, I think of the one in Chinatown. But
yeah,
but it's Le Sorted is great.
But you're right. There is like a space for a more like sit-down slice shop because Le Sorted's has the window. Pizzana's like, you know, Neapolitan and sit down. But if there was like a slice shop with some space in it, especially if it stayed open a little later and it could capture some of that Los Globos traffic.
Definitely. And if they sold some like little drink and like maybe a breakfast sandwich, people would eat that shit up, literally.
Ooh, breakfast Philly cheese? Come on.
Oh.
Come on now.
Oh my God, that sounds divine.
Well, you'll have to let us know how the Philly cheesesteak is. Ronit, since we have you on and you know, you're out there trying the viral new things, the cool food experiences in Los Angeles. You even did something recently about whether something is worth the price. I got an idea for a little game I'd like to play with you called Worth the Hype. Basically, I'd like to go bat for bat, each sharing things that we think are actually worth the hype here in Los Angeles. And basically the other has to react. It's kind of like, are you familiar with the show SubwayTakes?
Of course.
Okay. You never know. Well, you know how like Kareem was always like 100% agree or 100% disagree? We should do the same for each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you say something is worth it, I'll either agree or disagree and vice versa. Okay?
Wow, that's so fun. I've always wanted to be Kareem for a little, so that's perfect.
Consider this your practice round for when he invites you on the show, okay?
Perfect.
All right, you're up first.
Okay, I'm ready. Ugh, I want to think of like a really controversial one, but I'll start with this one. Wilds in Los Feliz. Have you been?
I have.
Worth it?
What are you going to say?
I think it's worth it. 100% agree.
Are you saying it's worth it? Okay, worth it. Okay, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Especially like for English food, like a cuisine that is wildly disrespected left and right. Like the fact that they're proving that it can be good, I think is worth in and of itself the wait in line. Now, do you go and line up at 5 p.m.?
No. Because I'm like local, so I'll just like put my name down and then like show up when I get the text. But okay, this restaurant, although they do have Bub and Grandma's bread, crudo, sticky toffee pudding, and a chicory Caesar, they have those 4 things, and bistro tables. They have those things, all of them.
The holy quinfecta.
Yes, but I don't know the last time I went to a restaurant, looked at the menu, and was like, what does this mean? Like, what are these things? I've never even heard of, like, Welsh rarebit, I had never heard of. How exciting. Like, I feel like I'm so, like, jaded with the LA restaurant menu that I was so delighted to see items that I'd never even heard of. Like, and the food, I thought the food was amazing. I've only been once for dinner, and I'm plotting to go again, but I had the fish and chips and they were phenom.
Yeah.
And then all the appetizers were incredible. The Welsh rarebit was so good.
I agree. I think that in an era of crudos and chicory Caesars, we applaud them for taking swings. And yes, they are. All those dishes you mentioned are fantastic. The fish and chips are great. We got the bangers and mash when we went.
Okay, that one I didn't love.
Okay.
That's the only thing I didn't really like.
Noted. Are you just not like, what? Are you not a bangers and mash person or just this version?
No. I definitely am.
Okay.
There was just something, maybe it was like an off night, but the potatoes were a little bit like starchy. They didn't taste quite right. But I did go like right when they opened, so Fair. It's possible that they just, it was an off thing. I definitely don't fault them for it.
They hadn't perfected their mashed potato recipe yet.
Right. I mean, when you go to a new restaurant, you gotta, give them a little slack.
I, again, appreciate that. I feel like there's plenty of influencers out there that would not say the same thing. So kudos to you. Okay, so we're in agreement so far. You ready for mine?
Okay. Yes.
I'm going to say that waiting in line for courage is worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to 100% disagree on that one.
Ooh, okay. Give me your reason.
Nothing against courage. Love it. I just wouldn't wait for any. I don't think there's anything I would wait outside in the sun for. Truly.
Nothing?
I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting for anything. I'm impatient. I don't like doing it. And I don't like standing either. I either have to be walking or sitting. I don't like just standing around. Also, there's a great pupuseria across the street. Just go there.
Fair.
Oh my God.
Fair.
Courage is great though. Like I love it and I would eat it more if I didn't have to do that. But I never get it because I will not wait.
So I was recently listening to a podcast with this guy called Matt Rodbard, who hosts a podcast called This Is Taste, friend of the pod. Shout out, Matt. He was a guest somewhere. And he made the point that, like, actually he thinks people are too hard on waiting in line. Like, he thinks waiting in line is an underrated thing because, for example, if you're looking for, like, a cheap date or something, standing somewhere, like waiting in a line, okay, I take your point on the sun. But let's say it's, like, a shaded line, right? Yeah, it's a good opportunity to have like a conversation, to get to know one another. You wait for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then finally you get to the end and you have an experience together. That doesn't sound like a bad, cheap first date to me. Or maybe I'm just a bad, cheap first date, and that may be the problem.
I doubt you're a bad, cheap first date.
My wife might argue otherwise.
Oh, you're married. It's okay. Then this conversation is a moot point. No, I just, in this day and age of like the TikTokification of everything and like everyone's standing in line for like a fucking dot cake, I'm just like, I just like don't want to do it. I just like can't do it. It's just not, to me, it's just never worth it. And I love loitering. I love like being out with the people, stepping out. Like I understand romanticizing it for that purpose and I appreciate that romantic perspective, but I won't partake in the line situation in places like LA and New York. I just think it's like, it's just go somewhere else. Just go somewhere else.
Okay, fair. But do you like a Courage bagel? I
love Courage bagels. I think it's really good. Okay. They posted something the other day, this like prosciutto one that I really want to try.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looks good.
I'm not gonna try it.
Look, I respect that you have your morals and you stand by them. Okay, so we can disagree on this one. What you got for me next?
Okay, I just thought of a really juicy one, and it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Are you ready?
Oh God.
Hillstone is mid.
So you're saying Hillstone is not worth it?
Not worth it.
Ooh, look. I think one of our part-time co-hosts, Karen Palmer, is going to hate this answer because she is the ultimate Hillstone fan, but I'm going to say I agree with you.
No way.
I think it's one of those things where you kind of had to be there. Like, you kind of had to be there during a certain era of food or life or whatever, and it had to hit you. It had to, like, insert itself in you at the right time, or you have the reaction we're having, which is like, why the fuck did I just spend this much money on sushi, artichoke dip, and ribs? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I will say, like, I think I've had particularly bad experiences at the Hillstone restaurants I've been to. Like, I went to the one in Santa Monica. It was literally disgusting. I went to Houston's in Pasadena. My ribs were dry. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been to Honor Bar in actually the Honor Bar in Montecito is really an experience.
It looks nice. I've walked by.
It's a vibe. And then the Honor Bar in Beverly Hills, they changed the burger to be completely different, and now it's way less good. It's like...
Is it the one with the coleslaw and stuff and the sauce?
No, that's the chicken sandwich, which I also think is underwhelming. It's just a chicken sandwich. I don't get it.
With cold cheese.
But I do really... Yeah, But I do really want to go and give it one more chance and go to South Beverly Grill because their French dip I've heard is great, and I love a French dip. And that's actually what I had at the Honor Bar in Montecito, and I loved it. So I do want to go to South Beverly Grill and maybe rewrite my Hillstone animosity in my head. But as of right now...
Fair. I don't have animosity towards it, but I share your opinion that it is mid.
The animosity just comes from people like being so obsessed with it. Like, chill out. It's like fancy Cheesecake Factory. It's like,
yep. But people are obsessed with their Cheesecake Factory too.
Right. Totally. Which I don't like cheesecake.
All right, I got one for you, okay? I think that the $35 Ben's Martini at the Benjamin is actually worth it.
Oh, I haven't been to the Benjamin yet. But I'm planning to go.
That you must fix. But you can probably have an opinion on whether $35 for a martini is worth it.
Yeah, I feel like I would 100% disagree on that. Morally, I can't get behind that. Why is it $35? Is there caviar in it?
Because, no. Also, that's something I can't stand is caviar in everything these days, which is, come on, not everything needs caviar. No, it's $35 because it's basically 2 drinks in one. Like, it comes with, like, a huge sidecar. So, like, pretty much you're getting 2 drinks in one. Plus, they're using good ingredients. They use, like, a little lemon oil to, like, give it a little something. And they give it to you with house-made potato chips, which are fantastic and I think only enhances the overall martini experience. So $35, I'm willing to spend it on Ben's Martini.
Shoot, I don't know. I think I still disagree because the one at Musso and Frank's is like 20 and you also get like a big sidecar with that one.
But do you get house-made potato chips?
No, but like, are those worth $15?
Fair. I wasn't thinking about the itemized economics of it, to be fair.
Yeah, but I'm always very averse to things that are that egregiously priced.
Yeah, which is a fair reaction to have, though. I gotta say, we can agree to disagree. And when you go, you should try it. Just try it. Try it before you knock it.
I will try it. I'll gladly try it once and probably
probably for the last time. All right, you got another one?
I have a really good one. Ordering your In-N-Out fries well done ruins the fries.
Whoa.
I don't know. That's not really a worth the price, but
it's a take. It's a take.
It's a take.
I think that I 100% disagree with that. How can you ruin something that is bad to begin with?
Oh my, you're going down a bad path with me right now. Okay. In-N-Out fries are my favorite fries. Number 1.
They're your favorite fries?
Yeah, they are. Getting them well done is ruining the beauty of the floppy, messy, real potato, never frozen fry. It's not trying to be like the super crispy fry that they have at every burger place. Like, it is a floppy, sloppy, fun little fry that I think is so enjoyable because you don't feel like a grease ball afterwards. Like, I can eat a whole thing of fries and feel totally fine.
Okay.
If you let go of your need for crispy fries, just let it go. Not all fries need to be like that, okay? You can enjoy it. Also, that is what goes better with animal fries. It goes better in the fork.
That's true.
And you know what? I even go a step further. I get my fries light fry. I get them less fried than normal.
Wild. That's wild. I mean, it's not even the like crispiness. It's just the fact that I feel like if you don't get them extra fried, they eat so chalky to me. I like can't even. Chalky. It's like I'm eating chalk. I can't even. That's how. But the way I do salvage them is by getting them animal style, and honestly, anything covered animal style would be good. So
my order is just try this one time, okay?
Okay.
Get the fries light fry. Get one by itself. You need to try it by itself, and then get another light fry cheese fries.
Okay. Woo! Light fry cheese fries. Ooh. Okay. I've got one more for you. You ready? I think that getting drinks at Sir in West Hollywood is worth it at least once.
At least once. I mean, I'll 100% agree because you said at least once. And obviously, like, if you're not from here, doing stuff like that is very exciting. This is something else that Dave and I actually spoke about that didn't make it to the pod. But these things in LA exist for a certain group of people, and I'm happy for them. And I want it to exist for them. Just because I don't partake or like it doesn't mean that I don't think it should exist for people that do enjoy it. And going somewhere like Sir, I never watched Vanderpump. It's the Vanderpump Rules place, right?
Correct, yeah.
Did you watch that show?
Oh yeah, my wife was like a
God.
huge Vanderpump Rules girly back in the day, and I held out for a really long time, but there was a little thing called the pandemic pulled me in.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, that's just another like LA place that as someone that's from here, I would like literally never go there, but I'm very happy for the people that get excited to go there. Like, I think it's a fun experience. It's like going to the Eiffel Tower. It's like going to, what's the one in Rome? The Leaning Piazza or whatever.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is in Pisa.
That one.
Yeah. We got the...
Oh, that's not in Rome.
No, but yeah, close enough. All the same shit. Yeah, no, that's fair. Very magnanimous of you to say 100% agree on something you actually don't really care about. So appreciate that. Ronit, you got one more to bring us home?
The food in LA is better than the food in New York.
100% agree. 100% agree. It's not even a hot take, I think.
Why do you think that that's true?
Well, I think something that everybody says, and I think I have come to accept that it's probably true, is New York is a better restaurant city, but LA is a better food city. And what they mean by that is like, yeah, of course, if you want like the Michelin stars or like the fancy like restaurants that have been there forever, like they kind of have like 46 Musso and Franks, if we're being honest. But
Totally.
when it comes to food, like all the experiences that you just listed out in the SGV at the start of the podcast, not to mention like our massive Koreatown, our Thai town, like just for different types of food and the quality of those food, there's no question LA's better than New York.
Yeah, I agree. Like New York has many more options, and I think that they have more good options than we do. And if you were to walk into a random place in New York, you're more likely to have a good meal than you were if you were to do that in LA. But I think our best is better than their best.
Ooh, I like it. I like you throwing down the gauntlet. And I'm glad that we can end in a place of agreement after so much disagreement in this segment.
I know.
Let it be a lesson for America.
But I love New York.
Yeah, fair. I do
New
too.
York.
No one's saying we don't like New York. Ronit, we have a game on this podcast called Chef's Kiss Big Miss. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. John Isaac in Santa Monica raised a few eyebrows when they unveiled a new bagel sandwich called the Layla Bagel Sando, an interesting choice given that their Ocean Park location is situated literally next door to, you guessed it, Layla Bagel. Some on the internet are suggesting that there's more to this than just a name, with some questioning what kind of beef is stewing between these two popular Westside purveyors of carbohydrates. Ronit, my question for you is this. Let's say that the Layla Bagel Sando is intended as shade. Is it a subtly delicious chef's kiss or a way too subtle to even register on the scale big miss?
Oh, that's a chef's kiss for me. I love some drama, okay? They literally named it Layla's Bagel. Like, how much more obvious could it be?
Yeah.
Also, I feel like there is drama, because I think when Layla's, I don't want to misspeak, but I remember hearing that there was some sort of drama between the two of them.
You can misspeak. We're not journalists.
Okay, I feel like someone that like worked at John Isaac like started Layla's and like stole. I actually don't know. I'm a big rumor spreader because I have terrible memory, and I make up memories and then I tell people that as if it's the truth, and then I spread rumors. So that might not be true at all. But I kind of there's something. A memory is being sparked. But I love, it's not subtle at all. I think it's very direct, and I think that that's super cool and ballsy of them. Like, they should do that. I think that's hilarious. And I bet you the bagel is going to be fucking good.
It looks really good. Although if I was going to call a food item after my enemy, I would make it really shit. You know, like I would just do like a bagel smeared in like, you know, cement or something.
But then you wouldn't, I feel like the flex is like, and we're making money. Like, it's like the Kendrick Drake beef. It's like, oh, and we're making money off of it. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, this is under your name and I'm making hella bread on it. Like,
like the carbohydrate on there, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even do that pun on purpose. They're also opening a John Isaac bread right next to my house. I'm so excited.
They're doing one in Silver Lake right by the Trader Joe's too. They're just like opening up like hotcakes.
No, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
That's pretty. It's like fairly close to me. It's like 6 minutes away.
Didn't mean to dox you, but then you doxed yourself, so that's okay. Okay, Caper Media reports that Las Vegas casinos are now competing for celebrity chefs the way they once competed for high rollers, signing names like Kwame Onuachi, Gabriella Kamara, and Grant Achatz in hopes that dinner can do what gambling apparently no longer can, get people to leave their Netflix queue. Restaurants are being asked to fill hotels, attract younger tourists, and justify billion-dollar resorts, meaning the casino floor is no longer the main event. It's really just the depressing hallway you walk through on your way to a $38 crudo. Moral of the story is, Vegas is still making enormous bets, only now the whale is a chef from New York and the house edge is the mandatory resort fee. Ronit, Vegas dining in general, chef's kiss or big miss?
It's a loaded question. I love Vegas, so everything is chef's kiss. But the food in Vegas is kind of big miss. Like, I don't know, it's just not that good, but I love it still, and I'll go and I'll enjoy it because I am a romantic and I'm, romanticizing everything when I'm there, and just, it's like old Hollywood,
Yeah,
you just have to just like view it that way, and like everything will be great. But if I'm really gonna be nitpicky about the food, it's not great. I haven't been to the Wynn buffet though, and I really want to go there. But like the carbone there, it's like fine. I had the dim sum at the Wynn, it's like fine.
Yeah. No, I like this. This is a good take. I love that you're like, I'm a romantic and therefore I love Vegas. Not something that everybody associates Las Vegas with, romance, but okay. Next one for you. The New York Times reports that Coca-Cola unveiled a nostalgic new global rebrand, only for the internet to notice its custom red and white serif font looks like Marlboro, meaning Coke reached for the 1970s and accidentally landed in cigarette country. Font experts insist the typefaces are technically different, which is reassuring in the same way as your spouse saying, technically he's my cousin so it's not cheating. Between the fridge cigarette trend, Coke's original cocaine recipe, and this Marlboro-adjacent makeover, the company's brand history is starting to look less like a beverage portfolio and more like Hunter S. Thompson's Christmas wish list. Ronit, Coca-Cola accidentally rebranding into Marlboro, chef's kiss or big miss?
That's kind of chef's kiss for me because I love Coke and I love cigarettes. And I feel like a cigarette vibe Coke, as bad as it is for you, just kind of sounds like a vibe.
Yeah. I love that they just like took the fridge cig thing and just like leaned in. They're like, fuck yeah, let's go for it.
Like that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think that's having fun with the reality of like their brand, and I love when brands do that. So that's a chef's kiss for me.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, last one for you. You're crushing it. You're winning this game. Ravenous reports that the Chicago White Sox are now selling $23 sushi push pops because apparently the last missing piece of the ballpark experience was eating amberjack from a tube while a man behind you screams about the bullpen. The move reflects Japanese baseball's enormous influence on MLB, where sushi has now appeared in roughly 3/4 of stadiums, and Shohei Ohtani has done more for cultural diplomacy than Marco Rubio could ever dream of. Ronit, my question for you, to win the game, ballpark sushi, chef's kiss or big miss?
It was a big miss, but then I heard the reason why, and that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, it is because, like, the Japanese guy on the Dodgers, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and, like, if his fans, like, if that's what they want to eat, and they want to pay that price, I'm gonna say chef's kiss. Although my instinct, like, my face when you started that one, I was like,
she rolled her eyes for those listening to this, by the way.
Yes, but I'm gonna change my answer to chef's kiss.
I like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, in the spirit of bringing everybody together, we're gonna give this a chef's kiss. Ronit, congratulations, you've won the game.
Wow, I'm so honored.
The prize is absolutely nothing but bragging rights. Just want to say thank you for making time for us. It's been an absolute delight to have you on, and really fun to agree, disagree, and everything in between. If the listeners are looking for you, where can they find you?
On social media?
Yeah, not like
Oh, okay.
not 6 minutes
I'm like,
away.
you want my
Yeah,
address?
6 minutes away from the John Isaac in Silver Lake.
Right, just check out that radius so you'll find me. My handle everywhere is at Ronit, Ronit, eats with 5 S's.
5 S's, not 4, not 6. You heard it here. We'll put it in the show notes. Ronit, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And we'll be back right after the break with Oram Salam of Lodge Bread.
Ooh.
Dear listener, I'm very excited because today we've got a carbolicious episode. We're joined by none other than the founder and owner of Lodge Bread, Or Salam. Or, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Icebreaker question for you. You are a self-proclaimed lover of almond croissants. Myself, I don't really care for an almond croissant. Convince me that I'm wrong.
I mean, I hear you. Sometimes they can be either dry or like sometimes it feels like that, like marzipan, like flavor, like too much almond. But if it's done right and like subtle and the filling is not overwhelmingly dry and like the croissant itself is not overbaked, it's one of my favorite things. Guilty pleasure.
Everybody needs one. Everybody. I think my disdain for it comes mostly from my overall disdain for croissants. I'm just not a huge croissant guy. So.
Oh wow, that's wild.
I know, it's crazy, and I've been told by some connoisseurs that there aren't that many great croissants in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But for people who are connoisseurs, what should they be looking for a great croissant?
I mean, obviously you want like the flakiness, and I like when you can taste the butter in the croissant. Mm-hmm. You know, some places you just don't feel it enough, and it doesn't give that like nice, rich, buttery flavor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it can't be like a soft, soggy croissant, or like it can't be overwhelmingly dry. I think there has to be like a perfect balance.
I love it. What's the best croissant you've ever had?
Petite Grain Boulangerie is one of my favorite croissants. Clemence it's like the second time I'm shouting her out. I just love what she does. I mean, obviously I love our croissants, but if I'm picking anything but my croissant, I would have to say theirs is spectacular.
I love it. And maybe that's where I've gone wrong. I've still not been to Petite Grain, so got to add it to my to-do list.
Oh, you really have to go. Yeah, it took me a while to get out there just because, work, family, all the above. And when we finally did, I was just, I was blown away. It was absolutely delicious.
All right, noted. Added to the to-do list. Well, hey, let's zoom out here a little bit. So you grew up in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, correct. I was born and raised here.
In an Israeli-Moroccan family where bread was always on the table with everything. But when did bread go from something you loved to something you actually got your hands stuck in and baked?
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, I didn't really start baking until about 2 years before we opened Lodge, 2 or 3 years.
So like 2013?
Yeah, like 2012, 2013. I was like kind of in between jobs, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I started taking on some private chefing gigs and, working part-time as well. And I just kind of fell in love with baking after giving it a shot for one of my events, and it just became an obsession. And when I mean, people who know me know that when I get into something, it is like, it just becomes an obsession. Like if I really love something, I will do it as well as I possibly can. And that's kind of how Lodge was born. I just couldn't stop making bread.
It's funny because like I get the obsession part, but for me, I'm an obsession and instant gratification guy. Like I like things that give me a quick return. Sourdough and bread isn't really the same proposition, is it?
No, definitely not. And it's super frustrating at times. So it's not something for someone who wants instant gratification. It definitely takes time, a lot of failure. And I mean, still to this day is something that we are constantly working to be better at. It's just like the long play.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you start, you like officially start working, making bread and selling it to people in 2015.
Yeah, like a little bit before that. It's funny, the first loaf we ever sold together, Alex and I, we were working at a little restaurant called Goldie's. It was like a gastropub in West Hollywood. And we started making the bread for the restaurant. And a customer during dinner service was like, who made this loaf? Who made this bread? Like, is there any more in the back? And we started chatting with him, and he bought like 2 of our loaves from the kitchen. We like didn't even know what to charge him. We're like, tried to figure it out. And that was like one of the moments where we were just kind of everything clicked, and we decided that we were maybe figure out if it was something we should explore more.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like at the time, obviously today in LA we have so much, or at least it feels like so much great bread. Obviously, I live in a neighborhood where we have Bub and Grandma's. There's a Tartine on every block. We have multiple lodge breads now. Even a lot of the bakeries that we get or that sell at farmers markets are pretty decent these days.
Yeah.
But when you started Lodge in 2015, it really didn't feel the same when it came to bread. What was LA missing?
No, I mean, it was just kind of starting,
Yeah.
I think. And it Clark Street was around.
Of course.
And they, they make great bread and great products. Zach's a good friend, but I think it was just like the beginning really of the bread scene. I mean, Tartine hadn't yet made its way to LA, and I think we just came into it at the right time.
Yeah, right place, right time. Yeah, I forgot. I always forget to mention Clark Street, but you're absolutely right. When you talk about them, like, you have to mention them.
I think he was like one of the pioneers in LA of, actually making good bread.
Yeah, I mean, even like Andy from Bub and Grandma's talks about using his ovens at the start. So, it all goes back to Zach at Clark Street. So, okay, you guys make a couple good loaves at the restaurant, you sell them, and then you just decide, we should start doing this. We should start selling out of a carport.
Well, I mean, it didn't happen quite like that. We almost like that. We were working at the restaurant, and we were kind of just like, shooting the shit and asking each other what our goals were in life. And I had said that I wanted to, open a small bakery, and he had mentioned something about like opening a bed and breakfast. And, I said, if he's serious, we could try and figure out like, whatever version of that we could open together and just give it a shot. And, funny enough, he was on my door the next day, on my doorstep, just like, all right, I quit. So let's go. And I was like, holy shit. All right. So I guess I gotta, I put my notice in. And once I left that job, we were making bread. Each of us was making as much bread as we could out of our own ovens at home, like a little, just like tiny little oven. I was living in like a 1-bedroom, like tiny place. And we were making as much as we could and like meeting each other halfway and then delivering to like our 2 accounts that we had. We had some chefs that were using our bread at the time. And then we just, my wife was like, I'm going to kick you out. We weren't married at the time, and she was like, you can't do this here. And then we went to Alex's place, and we decided we were going to build a kitchen under his carport. We ran exposed gas lines through the driveway, like from the main line. We bought an old oven, convection oven, and we just started baking bread, and we just would deliver it to whoever would give us 10 minutes to taste it. Any chef in the area. We had friends who were working in the area. I mean, we had like 12 wholesale accounts out of that carport.
Yeah.
And then we had some, like friends and stuff who would buy the bread from us and family members, but it was a wild year. I mean, we made a lot of bread in that shady bakery, and it kind of worked out.
Well, I want to circle back, to use a corporate term, to something you said, because it's a story, right? Didn't you and Alex tell each other like whoever quits their job first, the other one will follow suit? Is that?
Well, I told him, I was like, yeah, if you're serious, and you quit and you like, leave Goldie's, like I'll do the same, and we'll just we'll go for it. And I mean, obviously I didn't think he would show up like the next day, but he did. I mean, I guess we were both extreme in that sense, but it's what it took to kind of make it happen.
Well, be honest, was your first thought when he told you I quit, this motherfucker?
No, I mean, I was all for it. I'm also extreme, so I was glad to have that push. Obviously, it's like, it's kind of scary starting something new, but I was definitely up for the risk and the challenge. I mean, we worked at it for a long time, for a year out of his place, and then we finally found the spot on Washington, which was a lot smaller than it is now. It was about 900 square feet, and we built our first bakery.
That's amazing. But in the Carport days, I remember you telling me a story when we were having lunch at Lodge at the location you said about a neighbor who almost thwarted everything.
Yeah, we were getting ready for our daily deliveries. We would bake starting at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and we were baking out of like cast iron pans. So we tried to be as quiet as possible, but obviously it did make some noise.
Yeah.
And we would then
this shit early, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were baking at like 3 or 4 a.m.
It's crazy.
And then after we would bake, we would go out, we would start mixing our dough, and we would take our dough with us in the car with the bread ready to be delivered. We would deliver bread while folding dough in the car, and then we would come back from deliveries and shape bread for the next day, and then just rinse and repeat. And so one day when we were finished loading up the car, I had like forgotten something in his in the carport, and I was walking back in, and his neighbor was in there, and he freaked out. He's like, "Please don't kill me." And I was like, "Why would I kill you?" He's like, "You guys are drug dealers, right?" And I was like, "No, we make bread." So he was like, "This is really illegal." And I was like, "Well, why don't you try a fresh loaf of bread?" And so we bribed him with a fresh loaf of bread every day for a while until we got out of there. And it was just a really funny interaction. I mean, he really thought we were drug dealers because we had the same routine, making noise every morning.
Yeah.
We'd go out to deliver.
It's like peak Breaking Bad era too. Also, like,
Yeah.
It's really funny that he's like, this is super illegal, whereas before he thought you guys were doing drugs, Like, I love
like, yeah, I could call the health department. I was like, well, just eat some bread and relax.
Better the health department than the DEA, man. But that's really,
exactly,
really funny.
Exactly.
So yeah, you mentioned going into your first brick and mortar. So, to me, when I'm thinking about building a business, I'm always thinking about how can I take what I'm doing and scale it? And for some things, it's very easy, but for something like your bread, which is an incredibly slow process that fundamentally cannot be rushed.
Yeah.
How did you go from those early days when you were servicing just a couple accounts to then needing to scale that operation to build it not into what it is today, because obviously you guys are pretty much a behemoth today, but into something that approximated a legitimate operation?
Yeah, I mean, we did do a good amount of wholesale in the beginning years. Obviously, we don't anymore. We keep it internal for our cafes, but I mean, it was just a lot of fucking work. Excuse me if I'm my language, but it was a lot.
You're allowed.
It was a lot of work. I mean, we would get. In the beginning, it was really just Alex, myself, and one other person that were baking the bread, and we had a few employees helping us out in the counter and coffee, but we would show up to the bakery at 1 or 2 a.m. and we would be back home by like maybe 8 o'clock at night, sometimes later. So it was a really tough first year for sure. As we grew and our systems developed, we obviously were able to hire bakers. Also, once we had more customers coming in on a regular basis. I mean, it was obviously like, we did get some traction, but it was still like a slow build, like most openings. But we did. I mean, we started hiring bakers, we hired managers, we expanded in 2017, and it just kind of naturally grew from there. But the beginning was a grind. It was really tough. Yeah.
Yeah. The elbow grease that you need to get a business started, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm correct in saying that everything at Lodge is naturally fermented, right? No commercial yeast?
Yeah. So anything that is leavened, like bread or a croissant, or like our cinnamon roll, or like brioche, it's all naturally fermented. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still growing as a company. You opened a bakery in Woodland Hills. There's another one coming in Pasadena. How do you scale naturally fermented products like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We've streamlined a bit. We don't have as many bread SKUs that we used to, but we, stay true to like our core product line. We've obviously grown in footprint. We've taken more kitchen space. We've increased our walk-in capacity. We have a lot more employees. But yeah, right now we have Beverly Hills, Woodland Hills. We're opening Pasadena. And soon to be Brentwood right after Pasadena.
Wow, where's the Brentwood spot?
Then it's on San Vicente, right under the Chin Chin space.
Oh, nice. Honestly, that neighborhood could use a good bakery, I think.
We think it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
we're really excited about it, and so that's gonna be hopefully coming November is what we're targeting. So shortly after our Pasadena Foolproof, which is the restaurant that's going to open in October, and then the bakery will open in September.
Yeah. That's really. I mean, so one thing I gleaned from speaking with you when we were grabbing lunch was just like you and your business partner Arthur. You both seem to have like this sort of like real go-getter mentality, meaning like if there's an opportunity. You're not just going in blind and seeing if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But there's a real appetite to just do big things. That's definitely what I gleaned.
Yeah.
And thinking back on Lodge's journey over the years, one project that I was really fond of was Hasiba, the project that you opened on Pico, right? I mean, presumably you loved that idea too, right?
I did. We all did. I mean, it was so Hasiba is named after my grandmother, my Moroccan grandmother, and it was something that was definitely near and dear to all of us, and Arthur as well. I mean, he was a customer, and during COVID. This was before Arthur joined us. During COVID, we had to make the tough decision to switch it into a Lodge bread, and then he joined us right as we were kind of making that switch. Just to, it was just streamlining the company and making it. At the time, it was tough to do dine in and take out and all that stuff. So just making everything easier. We obviously would like to bring it back in some new and improved way, just kind of like what we're doing with Foolproof. So, don't count Hasiba out. Maybe you'll see it in the future.
Bro, that is like the best news ever. I used to go so often because I worked kind of near there, and it was like a great spot to meet up for work lunches. And every time I brought people there, they were like, "Oh my God, Luke is the shit." Because they're like, "This place slaps." I was so sad when it closed.
It was. We were all very sad, and we hope to bring it back. It's something that's not. We're definitely. It's not on the docket for the next year, but we're definitely trying to bring it back.
But you're still doing if you still want a memory of what it was like, you could still get a pretty dope pita sandwich at Lodge, though, right?
Yeah. So at the Culver City location, we have the Fat Pita, and we're gonna be bringing pita to our Pasadena location as well. And Brentwood, we're gonna try and stick a pita oven in there, and we want to make it an offering at all the locations at some point. We just need to rebuild some of those kitchens at some time.
For sure. And then speaking of other projects, you mentioned Foolproof. I always remember Lodge being associated with pizza because, again, back in your early days, I was always on the hunt for excellent pizza, as I am today.
Yeah.
And everybody, there was a colleague of mine that lived near you guys and was always at the bakery and said, "You got to go check out one of Lodge's pizza nights that they do."
Yeah.
And I remember those pizza nights being pretty legendary. It was kind of tough to get a spot.
Yeah, that was it was definitely it had a cult following. The pizza night was wild. 5 p.m. until we sold out, which was usually. I mean, we would sell out within 45 minutes to an hour, and then we would be making pies until about 8 o'clock. So if you were the last one to order, you would probably be waiting, sometimes upwards of an hour and a half for a pizza, which is, I know it's unheard of, but it was on a Sunday, so it was after our farmer's market day. So we would do one pizza, and we would get ingredients from the farmer's market, and then we would prep them during the day and make the dough that day, and we would make pizzas. We would close for an hour and make pizzas from 5 on. We'd blast the music, and it was just one pie. And so the farmers market days, we would start at midnight. And so if you think about it, we're starting at midnight and then ending our night at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night is just insanity. So those days were wild.
Yeah. How did you keep going? Be honest.
A lot of coffee, just a lot of coffee, and it was rough. But I mean, adrenaline, I guess. But it definitely did evolve, and people loved it so much. So we tried to bring foolproof. We tried to bring it into the market in Beverly Hills out of like a small takeout joint, and then out of our Culver City shop as well at nights. It was at the wrong time, like during COVID. And so that didn't end up working out. But this new take on foolproof I think is going to be great.
Well, we're going to get there, but real quick, the pizzas that you did back at Lodge Bread versus the pizzas at Foolproof, I remember the ones at Lodge Bread being more Neapolitan-esque versus the ones at Foolproof skewing a little bit more New York.
Sure.
Were there actually any meaningful differences in the way that the dough was developed, or was it just as far as the bake and the way it was presented?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a couple of flip-flops. So in the beginning, we were making pizza out of our bread oven. And so that was more like your crispy bottom New York pizza. That was on the pizza nights. And then when we expanded, we bought a wood oven and we started making Neapolitan style pizzas. And so that was more of like the classic, the nice cornichon and not too crispy on the bottom. Very limited toppings because you don't want everything to fall off your pizza. Just like classic Neapolitan pies. The dough did change a bit because we did put a lot of whole wheat in our original dough formula, and it tended to burn a lot in the wood oven, so we had to kind of lower that a little bit. But also how we thought of toppings changed, because on a Neapolitan pie that cooks for a minute and a half to 3 minutes at the most, you can't really you can't put heavy and a large amount of toppings. You have to be pretty restrained when you build a pizza. And my personal preference is definitely more along like the New York style pizza, like the East Coast style pizza, the crispy bottom, crispy crust pizza that can hold up whatever you put on there. And that's why we are going back to that.
Yeah, no. I'm excited for it. So Foolproof, you just mentioned, it's coming back. How is it going to be similar to different from what people experienced of it in Culver City?
Yeah, so it's coming back in a completely different form. It is a full-service restaurant. We're going to have a bar, cocktails. What you can expect to be similar will be the pizza and the style that we make it. We're going to be serving, 12-inch pies, so like a personal pie that can be shared at the table. Some of the pies that we bring back will be classics that we had, like the spicy eggplant pizza that everybody loved. Our barbecue chicken pizza that everybody enjoyed. So things like that. Obviously, like a good classic cheese. Then some new ones that we're going to add to the mix. And then on top of that, we're doing a really great pasta program. Everything made in-house, kind of channeling our inner Lodge Bread, like the inner baker, while we make the pasta. Like we're going to be doing a pasta dough that has, starter and rye flour in it. We're going to do a pasta dough that has, some ancient grains like some emmer. We're going to do, potentially some buckwheat pasta. So it's going to be a really nice, fun program. All the dough will be made in-house. We'll have some, a full menu for people.
Well, it sounds like you're really coming for the pasta crown, because that sounds like a really serious pasta program. Yeah,
when we started conceptualizing it and thinking about it, it made sense to us because we're a bakery company, we're bakers, and that's kind of where we started. And to treat the pasta in the same way that we treat bread just felt natural. And it's something that's exciting that's not really done in LA, but it's done, throughout the world. Like people use the grains they have. So whether it's spelt or einkorn or, buckwheat or, rye, we're going to play with pasta like we did with bread.
I love that. And so in the R&D, are you more so just applying your baker's mindset and taking the ingredients you have and R&Ding it so that it works in the format you want it to finish up on? Or are you also drawing inspiration from cultures, I don't know, in Italy or elsewhere?
For the most part, we're using our knowledge and, to build these dough formulas. Obviously, we are taking inspiration from, like classic Italian cooking. But we make a barbecue chicken pizza, so it's not like fully classic. Like people are gonna freak
My
out.
Nona just rolled over in a grave.
Exactly.
No, but the reason I asked that actually is because I appreciate that because I feel like what a lot of places try to do here is they try to recreate Italy like, frame for frame.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's really kind of a losing proposition because what makes Italian food so good in Italy is like the locality of it, the tradition of it, the fact that people have been making it with their hands for decades and decades, the ingredients. I like that you're kind of taking an approach of, okay, this is what we do, this is what we have here, and this is how it comes out in pasta.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I'm not Italian, and I'm not claiming that we are like traditional Italian food. We do like obviously take inspiration, and we have some things that are more classic Italian, but we put our spin on it, and we are in California, so it's different. We have different grain, we have different produce, and to be able to tap into that and not try to stick into a certain bubble, like that's what we do, whether it's at Lodge Bread or at Full Proof or even in the future with Hasiba, like we just make food, so we take a lane and we don't stick to it 100%. We get the inspirations that we need, and we build a menu that we're happy with and we think people are going to truly enjoy.
Hell yeah. I love it. So just to bring it back to sort of Lodge's journey, your own personal journey, I understand you're the partner you founded Lodge with, Alex, stepped away in 2023.
Yeah.
How did that change your relationship with the company and the kind of leader you had to be after sharing the responsibility? Obviously Arthur also joined the company, but as far as founders, you were the last man standing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a big shift. It was something that I guess had been building over time, and people people have their own path that they need to take, and no hard feelings, no bad will or ill will to him. Like, he's doing his thing. I think he's opened a bakery out in Arizona. It kind of made me shift more back into the bakery, because we, as co-founders, like, we decide to stay in certain lanes, and when we began, like, we were making everything together, and then as we grew, like, I focused on growth, and he was focusing on more of like the bakery and kitchen side. And so after he left, I found myself kind of back in the bakery, and it was a good crash course again for me in getting myself back involved in that, which was, it was nice.
Yeah, getting your hands dirty. Back in the dough.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, not as from a baking everyday standpoint, but just being involved in it again and having my hands in it again felt great.
For sure. I love that.
Yeah.
So Lodge celebrated 10 years last year. Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
And obviously, like, you keep growing. Everything, it seems like, every time I hear from you or from Anne, like, something new is happening with Lodge Bread, which is really exciting. 10 years from now, where do you see Lodge?
Yeah, I see us growing even more. Obviously, my goal at some point is to bring Lodge to another market, out of state. That's something future, but just to continue growing. I feel like we can put a Lodge Bread virtually anywhere, and it would be successful, hopefully. I think that we try to make good, approachable food that mostly anyone can enjoy, and so that's, for me, that's a goal, to just continue to grow and build this company into hopefully a multi-state chain at some point, that's while maintaining the quality and what we do best.
Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. My biggest regret is not visiting Lodge during my year of the sandwich, when I reviewed 100 different sandwiches in Los Angeles, because y'all deserved a spot in at least the top 20, if not the top 10, because there are some fucking bangers on your menu, bro.
I appreciate it.
hey, maybe we'll have to drop an updated list. Or you've been so generous with your time. We really appreciate you joining us. Last question that we ask all our guests: what are 3 LA restaurants you're loving right now?
Okay, so most recently we went to Barra Santos, which was awesome. We really, really enjoyed it. You know, Liel was a really great experience.
Cool. I still haven't been.
On like the higher end. And then Tasting Kitchen that just opened up again. It's definitely something for people to pop back in. I think it's like a legacy restaurant in LA that just, you know, reopened, and the space is beautiful. It's just a, you know, a really great place.
I'm so excited for that. I love that they just like picked right back up where they left off. Obviously they changed everything, but they didn't change the name. They like kept the like soul of the restaurant intact, and I love that they chose to do that.
Yeah, I wish them a ton of success, and it's a great story to come back, and yeah, absolutely.
Well, we wish you a ton of success on Pasadena, Brentwood, you know, world domination, whatever comes next. And once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the LA Food Podcast. Thanks to our guests for making the time for us. As always, we'll be back with another epic episode next week, but if you're looking for me in the meantime, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Thread, YouTube, even our website at the LA Countdown. You can also find us on Instagram at It's Acquired Taste and at acquiredtastemedia.com. If you like what you heard here today, dear listener, please consider going to wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating or review, even a follow. That really helps us. It means the world to us. Thank you so much in advance.